All right, guys. So we already have our first nuclear threats being issued for this Israel-Iran war. World War III warning: Iran claims Pakistan will use nuke if Israel uses N-bombs first. In a chilling escalation of nuclear rhetoric, a top Iranian general has claimed that Pakistan will retaliate with a nuclear strike on Israel if Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu authorizes a nuclear attack on Iran. General Mohsen Reza, senior officer in Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and a member of the National Security Council, declared in a televised interview, quote, Pakistan has told us that if Israel uses nuclear missiles, we will also attack it with nuclear weapons. While Iran and Israel edge closer to all-out war following Israel's bombardment of Iranian nuclear and military sites, this new claim has sparked global concern over a potential World War III-style confrontation in the Middle East. This is a very underreported fact of what's going on now. The dividing lines are very, very clear. We have a situation where Iran, who are they backed by? They're backed by China and they're backed by Russia. Those are their allies. And the U.S., of course, we have us and we have Israel. And in theory, we have Europe, although many of them, they're seeing what Israel has been doing, and many of them don't have the stomach to really stand watching genocide and outwardly supporting it. Like Spain, for example, has been genuinely critical of what Israel has been doing to Palestinians in Gaza. But the dividing lines are all there, right? And we already know that China, for example, has been helping to rearm Iran. They've been sending more money, more weapons, more artillery, right? You already have the colossal instability brought about by Russia and Vladimir Putin's illegal invasion of Ukraine, an attempt to take all of Ukraine and occupy the Donbass region, etc. And so all of these dividing lines are there. And so the chance of a world war coming out of this, it is not nothing. It is not nothing. And we've seen the slow escalation, the tit for tat, going on for quite a while now. Because think about it, guys. Syria used to be governed by Bashar al-Assad. He was an ally of Russia, right? And he was overthrown by a former Al-Qaeda member who now is the fake president of Syria. And then that guy let Israel take large swaths of Syria, right? But that was part of the alliance on the other side. So you had Hezbollah, you had Hamas, you had Syria, along with Iran and Russia and China. Well, now with Syria being overthrown, that's a big piece on the chessboard that's been taken away. And so Netanyahu views this as an opportunity to, hey, Hamas is weakened and Hezbollah is weakened. That's the Iranian proxies in the region. Let's cut the head off the snake and try to do regime change in Iran. But the people on that side of the equation, like China, is not just going to sit there and take that, right? Russia is not just going to sit there and take that. Granted, Russia's a little busy right now, but this is why China has been arming Iran. Iran is a key ally of China. These are all countries that are more closely aligned with China. You have a lot of BRICS countries that are getting in bed with China because they see how unhinged the United States of America is and how we're not true to our word. We don't follow our treaties. We basically even tell our allies to fuck off from time to time. So you have the dividing lines are clear. The dividing lines are there. And could this be a bluff from Iran? Sure. Basically, begging, please don't nuke us. But the fact that they even feel like they have to say that means, and I've told you guys this before, a nuke is on the table. A nuke is on the table. When Trump came out the other day and said, people of Tehran need to evacuate now. They need to evacuate. By the way, that was 2 a.m. when he said that. And there's a fucking fuel shortage because Israel has been bombing the fuel in Iran. So you had 10-hour-long fucking traffic jams and people desperately trying to get out and save their lives. But the fact that he said that, the first thing I thought of, and I'm sure many people are, was, oh my God, are they going to fucking nuke him? Are they going to nuke him? They might nuke him. They might fucking nuke him. And even if it's shy of that, what we know for sure is the weapons are being put in place right now. The attack was basically greenlit. Regime change was basically greenlit. You have giant bunker buster bombs being sent to go after, Iranian nuclear facilities. One of them is carved into a mountain. And so this bunker buster bomb would have to, penetrate through a fucking rock mountain. And it looks like they're going to plan on doing that. And by the way, you have idiots like Laura Loomer out there saying, why are people pretending like this is an all-out war? This is just an airstrike on the nuclear facilities. It's not a big deal. It's like, oh, really? Could you imagine if Iran or Russia or China used bunker buster bombs to go after our nuclear facilities? Is that what Laura Loomer would be saying? Guys, everybody relax. They're just doing a limited airstrike, going after the fucking nuclear facilities. This isn't an all-out war declared by those countries on the U. Of course you wouldn't say that. The double standards are preposterous. But now we're literally having the conversation about nuclear weapons. And now you have Iran saying, Israel, don't even think about it because then Pakistan will back us up. And is that true? Is that not true? I genuinely don't know. But this is instability to the max. And by the way, the height of irony is Israel, the warmongering country of Israel, trying to scare everybody about Iran potentially working towards a nuke, when Israel is the country that hasn't signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and Israel is the country that has illegal nukes, and they don't let the IAEA regulate it. They are the rogue country. They are the warmonger. They are the problem in the region, and here they are trying to scare everybody about Iran. It is beyond preposterous, man. It is flat out silly. But this is where we are. So this is how much this has spiraled out of control. As you all know, you've had tit-for-tat strikes since this happened, although tit-for-tat makes it sound like it's smaller than it is. These are a big deal. So you've had Israel go after top military officials, top political officials. You've also had them go after apartment buildings where they also killed civilians. To my knowledge, to this point, you don't have any top Israeli officials who've been killed, but Iran has successfully gone after the Israeli Pentagon. They have successfully gone after some power plants and some fuel, some energy infrastructure of Israel. And so now we're at the brink where it's like, okay, where does this go next? Is Iran going to shut down the Strait of Hormuz and cause global economic calamity because they feel like they have no other chance? Are the U.S. bases in the region about to be hit? This is just, it's going to keep going. They're going to keep escalating. Iran has a nuclear option, which is going after Saudi Arabia's gas fields, right? I mean, you really want to cause Washington to flip the fuck out and Israel to flip the fuck out to go after Saudi Aramco. That would be like, they would fucking panic over that, and Lord only knows, then they would actually consider a nuke if they did that. But it's very clear they want regime change, and there is nothing that's going to stop them from going for regime change because Iran has agreed every step of the way. Hey, we agreed to your nuclear deal, then you pulled out of it. We're still not building a nuke, and you're berating us like we are building a nuke and using that as a justification to overthrow us. Trump's not saying total surrender. Well, what the fuck does total surrender mean? They're not building a nuke. Isn't that effectively total surrender? So what are we talking about here? The reality is they've always wanted regime change. It has nothing to do with nuclear weapons. Iran threatens Israeli hegemony in the region, and that's why they're going after them. So their back is against the wall, and this can go a number of horrific different directions. This is going to be a catastrophe. This is not some fucking cakewalk. Iran is a much stronger country than Iraq was, and you also have people who are genuinely more idiotic trying to lead the United States and Israel during this. So buckle up, y'all, because they just started having the conversation about nuclear weapons, but that conversation is not going to stop. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.